Hey guys, I want to share a little insight on an example of something that I had done in the past. When I was young, I started a clothing line, and I really wanted to be in the fashion business. I had always dreamed of it. I had an opportunity to start my own clothing line, and I did. And I would work with the design team, and one of the things we would do is we would spend focused efforts in front of our computers in programs designing the finished product. Not the finished product, but designing the concept of a product, maybe putting graphics together or putting where the images would go, building images, like just building the what we were dreaming of and bringing it to life in the computer. And I remember, man, we would have these gigantic files we'd be working on, teams of us around the computer till midnight. We'd just be super focused. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing crashes. The whole thing crashes. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We finally got a product we love. The entire computer crashes. We didn't have auto backup back then. We didn't have a way that it was saving. When it crashed, it was like, is it there? Is it there? And you find out it's all gone. And your first thought is frustration. Just like with my company, my first thought was frustration. Gosh dang, we spent all this time. We finally got a product. It was locked in, and your head's down at 1 o'clock in the morning after really long, hard work that turned out in what looks like failure. And I would tell the team, I'd say, let's run it back, do it again. We don't have to chop it up. We don't have to learn the lessons. We don't have to try this and see if this works and try this and see if that works. We know exactly where the end result is because we had taken the road to get to the end result. And the lesson I want to share with you here is that failure isn't always failure. Failure is learning and applying that the next time. It's only failure if you decide to quit. Now, we could have walked away many of those times after the computer crashed and just said, give up on it. We'll start on something else. But we had seen the path. We had charted the path. And I can tell you that what took us 8 hours the last time, oftentimes could be done in 10, 20, 30 minutes max. What would take us 8 hours of all of our thought process, the whole team working, once we had seen it, we had touched that place, we could do it again in 30 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes. We could get it done that fast because there was a lot of trial and error along the way that the second time there wasn't going to be trial and error. And that's a little bit of encouragement for you, whoever you are, wherever you're at in life right now. That maybe you're frustrated because it feels like failure. And you feel like I haven't gotten anywhere, I'm starting at zero. We never started back at zero. All of that design phase, all of that work we had put together was always adding up to help us get to where we were going. So instead of being frustrated, I want to encourage you that this is not your failure. The thing hasn't worked yet, but it's only made it easier. It's your education. You're working on getting better. And every time you do something, you're better for it the next time. So rather than quitting and giving up, as all of our friend Ed Milet would say, how about just one more day? How about just one more try? Maybe you're at the end of your rope right now and you're looking at the task or the thing that you've been doing and it just fell apart. And you're like, it was supposed to work. I had this idea, this concept, this business plan. We were almost to the end and it fell apart. I was interviewing for the job and I had gone through 5 rounds of interviews and they told me I didn't get the job. Maybe those 5 rounds of interviews was to get you ready and prepared because they were asking questions you hadn't heard before for the job you're about to get that you really need, the job you really wanted that you haven't had a chance to interview for. Maybe you just change your perspective about the way you think about these things. Maybe the project that just fell apart is about to train you for the project that's going to go great and it's going to turn everything around. Your turnaround is close. Don't get caught up in the failure point. Always look at it as a learning point because if you reapply where you were at, you're never starting from the same place all over again. Have a great day, guys.